Let's podcast alongside Joe Giglio. I'm Joe Ovies. We are inside Eford Studios in downtown Raleigh, thanks to Empire Properties and thanks to Copiers Plus. Check them out online at copiers-plus.com. Print management, document management, get everything you need to the cloud. I miss the cloud, Joe. When you're in national parks, when you're in these weird parts of Canada, you don't get a lot of signal. I got 3G at one point. I hadn't seen 3G in 10 years.
Did it make a noise? Did it make that?
made a modem noise.
Yeah.
You survived without me last week? You good?
I have scars.
Oh, boy.
But we made it.
You know, you don't have to do the podcast while I'm gone.
No, I know. I talking to Chip Patterson, talking to Hayes Permar, that was fun.
Okay.
Why StreamYard or Chrome decided to change the input, output, how cameras work, how they don't work.
Did you check the mix minus?
I did check the mix minus. I made sure Hayes didn't touch any buttons. I mean, I thought I had everything.
Well,
I thought
somebody.
Yeah, the camera. I noticed.
Somebody messed with the camera.
I noticed on the last day, like Hayes' like camera was like this. And I'm like, wait, that's the real camera.
Who touched the camera? I've gotten over the button pushing. Okay.
I know.
I've gotten over the headphone settings.
Now that you have the camera right.
Right.
Yeah.
Who touched the camera?
I don't know.
Banned.
I know.
Banned.
Honestly,
gone.
It was probably me.
You're banned.
Because I'm like sitting there like, why? Why does this only happen?
Anyway,
why?
Today's show's a little bit different. We got the All-Star break, home run derby last night. Shout out to Cal Raleigh and his big ass for winning the home run derby last night.
Okay.
Did you watch any of that last night?
I did not. No.
Okay. I watched a little bit of it just to kind of see, what am I missing? Do I know who this baseball player is? That sort of thing, right? I know Cal Raleigh's been kind of like the phenomenon of the season in Major League Baseball. So that was fun. But today's show is about baseball here in Raleigh, here in North Carolina. The guys at MLB Raleigh had a home run derby watch party at the local last night. They were kind enough to invite us out to the local. They had a new hat drop. That was kind of cool. You can go to mlbraleigh.com to find out more. And while we were there, we had chances to talk to Brian Fork, the CEO of the Carolina Hurricanes. His main focus, he's the point person when it comes to Tom Dundon's Major League Baseball expansion efforts here in Raleigh or in North Carolina. And then we talked to President Doug Warf about the building. They're gutting it right now. And it's going to look really different once we get to this upcoming hockey season.
I wouldn't say gutting it. They're modifying two very specific areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The pictures you showed me.
Yeah, but you got to remember, they still have shows.
This is true.
So it's not like a total makeover. My dream of getting that lower bowl completely replaced. But it's all a name of progress. We'll get there. It's only 1 year for our guys.
And we'll talk to...
They've done a lot of good work in 1 year.
We'll talk to Doug about that and Lou Pascucci, who is heading up MLB Raleigh as well. Do a little of housekeeping. We got a lot to cover in housekeeping. And of course, we've got Hey Joe as well. But let's bring you the conversation we had with Brian Fork, CEO of the Carolina Hurricanes, Major League Baseball, Raleigh, or North Carolina in general. Brian Fork is sitting down with us here at the local on the Heiser Automotive Group microphone. He is the CEO of the Carolina Hurricanes. Although I think, first off, happy anniversary. We're coming up on a year of you taking the job, right?
Approximately about a year on the job. Yeah,
okay.
It's been a lot of fun.
What? I was going to ask you, what's the? We'll start there. What's the one thing you didn't really account for when you took the job?
So, as you guys know, my background in this is mostly as being a big sports fan.
Yes.
So, Lenovo Center is also operated by Gale Force Sports and Entertainment, one of the Hurricanes companies. And there are a lot of concerts, and I don't know that much about the concert business, and I'm learning about it from many of my colleagues.
Okay.
Figuring out how the concert entertainment piece is such a big piece of making the world work from a sports venue standpoint and supporting what we're trying to do, both on the hockey side, but creating a building for basketball to be played in. That's not something that I thought a lot about going to lots and lots of Hurricanes and state games over 25 years.
That's how you get the Utes to show up to Tyler, the Creator, last night at the building.
There was a lot of them there, and the other thing is just the number. You got your crowd that shows up at the Canes games, and you got your crowd that shows up at the Wolfpack games, and then you got a lot different crowds that show up for a lot of different concerts.
Although something tells me that I'm old enough now that the 9 Inch Nails show that I'm going to in September, there will be more old person crossover that goes to Hurricanes games at that point.
There are some of that.
So
got some comedy shows the next 2 nights or later this week.
That's right. Was it Bergazzi's going to be here, right?
Yeah. There'll be a little crossover there, too.
Isn't that one of your guys? Mm-hmm. Are you going to that show? Maybe Brian's got 2 loose tickets on him. I don't know. Although we don't do physical tickets anymore. I
try not to hit Brian up for anything.
All right, so we're here with our friends from Major League Raleigh, MLB Raleigh. They got their hats, they got their grassroots efforts. These are things that they've been doing for a few years now. But it seems that with Dundon taking over ownership, you being brought over to be the CEO, there has been way more open conversation about Major League Baseball in North Carolina, not necessarily in the Triangle. So from when you took the job and the tasks that you were given to where we are today, what is the latest on Major League Baseball in Raleigh? Or North Carolina, for that matter?
What we are trying to do is essentially be ready and have done the homework if an opportunity presents itself. And, the commissioner has been open about likely going to add 2 expansion teams. Don't know when that's going to be. Maybe it's 5 years from now, maybe it's 4 years from now, maybe it's 2 years from now. There's been a lot of press about it, a lot of news. It's hard to know exactly what to do until you know this is coming in 4 years or in a year and a half. We don't know what that's going to be, but what we want to do is have thought through the things that you need to think through to be in a position to do it. Tom's been open about the fact that he would like to own a Major League Baseball team. He would like that team to be based here in Raleigh. And let's think through the ways that you make that happen. And so we've continued to work on those things. We've continued to think through ideas. We've continued to talk to different people. But until baseball says, okay, it's time that we're going to do that, or there's some real owners meetings where it looks like expansion is going to be announced, it's more thinking through it and trying to get the outlines of what needs to happen to take the next step.
So what needs to happen?
So I think there's 4 big things that you really have to show. Let's say baseball said tomorrow we're going to announce 2 expansion teams.
Yeah.
I think any city needs to have 4 things. You need to have an owner. You need to have a stadium location and stadium itself. You need to have essentially a season ticket base or people that have committed to buy season tickets. And you need to have a corporate sponsorship package or plan. The first one we've got. Tom wants to do it. He's got the wherewithal to do it.
Yeah.
That's a big one. The second one, stadium site and location. For us to do it, it's going to have to be a publicly financed stadium. That's probably the case around the country anywhere else, but in Raleigh, that would be the case. There's going to be a lot of people involved in making something like that happen, local government officials, state government officials, working with local economic development leaders. There's going to be a lot of people involved, and all those people will have a say in where a stadium would go if it would be created. I think we have a lot of options in Raleigh, whether it's land that's currently owned by government so that piece of the real estate acquisition is a little bit easier. Is it a privately owned site and you got to make a plan? Is it downtown south? Is it somewhere around the arena around here? Is it somewhere in Cary or the eastern Wake County? There are places to do it in this area that would work, that would be desirable sites. So there's more bridges to cross there, but that's one of them. I think season ticket base is pretty easy. We've got already have a large enough, affluent enough population to buy baseball tickets to sell out a season. That population is just going to grow. And then the corporate sponsorship base is the one that you see poo-pooed a little bit, but I don't accept the idea that we can't make it work. It's worked with the Hurricanes. We need a little bit more, but there's more demand for baseball.
So that's the part that I've always found curious in the years that I've been doing this job, 20 some odd years, that usually you can point to all the population coming to the area. I don't think we can keep up with the amount. I think there's not even enough condo and townhome space for all the people that are coming here. I get all that kind of stuff. And there's infrastructure things that need to be fixed and all that stuff, and we can sort all that kind of stuff out. The part that's always been the hang-up for me is that corporate support. And I know what you're saying. You don't necessarily see that with the Hurricanes, but I do know that the dollar gets stretched thin when more things are here, because the colleges are treated like professional sports between State, Carolina, and to a certain extent Duke. The further the Canes go in the playoffs, which is great for everybody, but I know that it stretches the dollar. That affects some other events potentially down the line. That when let's say a golf event, saying a golf event that's usually used to having a sponsor is going, well, we might have to cut back a little bit because the Canes went further this year and the price of the brick is always going up. So where does the corporate support stand in terms of the ability to support all of this, not just say the Canes and some other things?
I think there's an idea that all of sports and entertainment and the growth of professional sports in a given market can increase the value of it collectively, especially done across the board. But I also think you need to look at baseball. There's some folks or companies or corporations out there, sponsors, that are really interested in hockey. Sometimes there's people in their leadership that like hockey. There's a whole other set with baseball. I mean, one of the unique things about baseball is the number of home games, so the number of impressions, the number of times people are actually going to the game. The average total attendance per year at a Major League Baseball home stadium is around 2.4 million. The next highest professional sport is the NBA and the NHL are very close in the 700,000 people a year range. So there's more people there. There's more television eyeballs. The other thing that I think is worth noting is I don't know that this would end up as a Raleigh versus Charlotte bid scenario. I don't speak for Charlotte. I don't know if they've got a site, an owner, a location if they want to get into it. Mm-hmm. But let's take that out of the equation for a minute. If you're looking at a Nashville or Austin, Texas, or somewhere out west, the North Carolina professional sports model of their, to the extent there is a weakness in the Raleigh corporate sponsorship market, mm-hmm. there's not in the North Carolina corporate sponsorship market. If you fold in Charlotte, if you fold in the Triad,
okay.
If you start thinking about it from if Major League Baseball shows up in Raleigh, North Carolina now has the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, MLB, MLS, and NWSL. You've got the Big Four and sort of the next two all in Raleigh. I think our pitch would be to go to corporate sponsorship partners across the state, mm-hmm. and this is going to be the North Carolina bid. And if North Carolina adds Major League Baseball, setting aside the Californias and Texases of the world, we're on all fours with anybody.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to be the bad guy for a second. It feels like Tampa was there to be had. The Rays were there to be had. Baseball's in a weird situation right now in that they have two teams playing in minor league parks. And it almost feels like, man, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Remember, they built the arena and they ended up manifesting an NBA team. I just feel like that's what it feels like, a missed opportunity to me. That's the way I look at it. Not from the expansion point of view, but obviously from the way the Hurricanes got here, mm-hmm. was Hartford was in a situation that was no longer tenable. They had a motivated owner who was able to park them for 2 years in Greensboro. And maybe there is something to be said for parking a team before they got here, but it just feels like baseball is in a situation where they got too many teams parked in the wrong parking deck right now. You know what I mean?
Sure. I can't speak for baseball. If they don't get a new stadium situation in Tampa or Orlando or somebody down somewhere in that area, it's not sustainable.
Right.
But I do think baseball wants a team in Tampa. They want the Rays to stay in Tampa, St. Pete, Orlando, Florida.
Much like the NHL wanted the Hurricanes to stay here,
right,
and wanted the Florida Panthers. Mm-hmm. They're two-time Stanley champions right now.
I would have moved them a long time ago after going to that mall in the middle of the freaking Everglades. Yes. Okay.
So baseball, the owners would have to approve a sale. Baseball is going to be involved in authorizing a move. If there is a pathway for the Rays to stay in Florida, they're going to stay in Florida, and baseball is going to want that to be the outcome. If they can't figure out a stadium plan at some point,
kind of like
baseball,
Oakland,
they raise their hand and say, we have to come up. They can't play in Steinbrenner Field forever.
Yeah.
The Trop is not a long-term viable solution. I think Tom and Raleigh are around and available if that comes up. But right now, if they're able to work out this new deal that they have, then I think that's what baseball wants to have happen. And then there's still expansion on the horizon.
This gets to the other aspect that I'm curious about and how you overcome that or how you sell it. And I say this as somebody who loves living here, but there's nothing about Raleigh that sizzles. Vegas. Oh, well, it's Vegas. Everybody wants to go to Vegas, especially now with legalized sports wagering and everything else. Nashville's that hotspot that people like to talk about. They've got an NFL team and they got an NHL team and things like that. How do you sell Raleigh? How do you overcome image issues that might come with Raleigh? And this is not a Raleigh versus Charlotte thing. I'm talking specifically about our market and how it's viewed by the larger national media.
I think that's less important about how it's viewed in the larger national economy. I think what's important is that the other MLB owners believe that it's a sustainable market.
Okay.
That you put a team here, there'll be a stadium that can generate revenue, and that enough revenue that whoever that owner is can reinvest it in the team and the salary and the economics of baseball so that it's a competitive team here long term that can help them generate revenue. I don't think people that live in California or Chicago or New York need to be impressed that it's in Raleigh. I hear you. There's a sizzle difference between Vegas and Raleigh, or maybe even Austin and Raleigh, or Nashville and Raleigh. But any of those places, and obviously Vegas is off the board, but pick the competitor city, they're going to have to figure those four things out too.
Okay.
And each one of them may have their own problem. They may not have an owner who wants to do it there, or they may not have a stadium spot, or there could be a variety of issues. I mean, Nashville is in the process of building a really, really big, nice, publicly financed football stadium.
Right.
Do they have the bandwidth to start over and do it again in 2 years for a baseball stadium? I don't know.
So I guess this gets to the other part about...
I was going to say, this is Brian's kitchen now.
Yeah.
The Death Star. What you're doing at the arena and how you're reconfiguring and how modernizing this section of the world, including the space we're sitting in right now, right? I mean, that's got to be the sell, is that you can kind of turn this into your own sports district, if you will. I think we've seen some of this in Atlanta. We've seen it in Phoenix.
We're seeing it with the Battery right now with the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the sell.
Yeah, forget baseball. That is our intention
anyway.
Of what to do across the street.
Right.
We're excited about it. And I was walking around my hard hat and my orange vest on this morning, and the arena is torn up on the inside. And it's like, that's different than what you're talking about. That's the renovation of the building. But it's cool to see it going on right now. Like, it's active. Your old media space does no longer exist.
What symbolic, if you will.
That's another conversation.
Says the lobbyist with a laugh. Now he's having fun. Get rid of the media.
It's okay. As long as the fifth floor doesn't go away and we can still do our after darks up there, I'm fine. As long as the Ethernet cable works.
But I think that's the real. That's the appeal too of Tom being involved, and that's your sell. There's your corporate sell too.
Yeah, we've seen the schematics
some of
for
these
the
banks
area.
and some of these other things that they can't get over here. You can start selling a little.
There's a chicken and the egg.
You could movie theater popcorn thing even.
Your favorite. There is a bit of a chicken and the egg. How are you going to get big corporations to move here? Well, you need more things for them to do in order for them to come here and support. There's a bit of that
for sure
that happens. So I get where having a Major League Baseball team will only entice more larger corporations to set up shop here.
Look, you talk to the state or the Raleigh, Wake County Economic Development people, and when they are involved in pitches for whether it's a corporate headquarters or just a big operation moving here, one of the things that they get is, we're looking for a major league city.
Yeah.
And I think that probably helped Nashville get to where they are by having the NFL there.
With all the schematics that we have with the redevelopment of this area, I know we're focused on the arena, but we've seen all sorts of, but things change. I mean, so how much of a potential baseball stadium is baked into what we're doing around here right now?
There is nothing that we're doing around here right now that's baked into a baseball stadium being here.
Okay.
Is there places nearby that if everybody that was involved wanted to have a baseball stadium, there is space to do that for sure. Okay. But we're certainly planning on putting together the premier sports and entertainment district, certainly in North Carolina, without a baseball stadium.
Let's talk gambling and taxes. It's interesting that we're here in the local because if I remember correctly, when sports wagering was legalized here in the state, the Canes had ideas on what to do with this building, an actual physical sports book, if you will, what old timers like the three of us would recall, going to Vegas, sitting down, having your TVs, going and making a bet, things like that. But we have these now, and that's how most of this works. Where are we in terms of what the state has learned, what the teams have learned, like you, the Panthers, the Hornets, in just over a year and a half now of having legalized sports wagering? Things that have worked, things that need some tweaking, things that maybe fans aren't familiar with. What has been the biggest lesson now that, from your perspective, now being on the sports side of these things, not the NCGA side of things, that can be done a little bit differently than we're doing right now?
I think we're still working through the kinks of what's the best way to do it. It's interesting that not all the sports gaming licenses that have been issued by the state have been picked up yet. I don't think that's something that was expected. There's still at least one, if not more, that's available.
There's your chance, Joe.
Another thing that's interesting is, you alluded to this restaurant, the local. This was before my time working with the Hurricanes and Tom, but one of the ideas was, do we put the sports book here? The law allows a sports book to be within a certain distance of a venue. This place would count. You start thinking about it. Okay, put in a traditional sports book here in this building or in some place across the street. People come in. Are they going to go up to the window and sign up for an account and put some cash down? Or are they just going to pull their phone out that has 1, 2, or 3 apps on it already, where they already have an account loaded, they can place their bets, they know how to do it? You really just need a restaurant to sit down with your friends and watch some games on TV. I don't know that we or anyone else in North Carolina, maybe with the exception of if horse racing becomes legalized, will do anything like that, just because it doesn't make sense to take up the space in the window, because the law would just, for us, for example, only allow us to do it through Fanatics. People could come in with any number of apps on their phone. So I don't think there was a lot of debate, as you guys know about, is a sports book a good idea or a bad idea? They're legalized. I don't know that you'll see any of them materialize.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think if you're going to have an actual space to hang out, we're probably looking at table games more than anything else. But that's a completely different deal because imagine, Joe, you could have your Uno. Now that Uno is officially a recognized thing you can bet on in Vegas, you can actually have an Uno card table here or something like that. But again, that's a separate conversation. I guess the only other question that I had personally about taxes and gambling is, and people might not they might have found out this year when they did their taxes, but you get taxed on losses. And I know that's something that former Governor Roy Cooper had tried to discuss, maybe kind of get some changes in that. From a sports team's perspective, where do you guys fit into potentially changing some of the language around how you're taxed on wagering?
That's a question for the policymakers.
Yeah.
The taxation of it is not an issue that at least the Hurricanes are going to take a lead role in dealing with. That's a question for the policymakers, the accountants, tax professionals. We're certainly in favor of anything that draws more interest to our games.
See, this is where we get into the lobbying aspect. At the end of the day, you, the Panthers, the Hornets, you are lobbying for yourself with those policymakers. Do you feel that maybe it would help you out if those things weren't in place, like not getting taxed on losses and things like that?
If to the extent not being taxed on the losses drove more people to want to place bets, and that led them to want to go to Hurricanes games and buy hot dogs and tickets and jerseys once they get there, then theoretically, yeah, that would be something that we would want to see happen. But
maybe not your purview, and hockey's tough. But how has education, security, have there been any issues in terms of, we've seen in baseball now, you can bet on is it a ball or a strike? And they've come up with some of that. Basketball, we've seen individual players with props. They've had some issues. Have you guys had to deal with anything behind the scenes, or has the league flagged anything to you and said, "Hey, this is a problem," or has it really been more of a smooth sailing operation on that end?
It's been more smooth sailing, I would say. On the hockey side, it is absolutely something that the league pays attention to and watches intently, and is policing as well as they can and making sure to follow any trends and look out for anything, but we haven't seen any issues.
You don't need any security for the official scorers? I feel like I hear them every once in a while, like, we changed the shot total. I mean, I may or may not have bet on a shot total in my day, but, I worry about those guys sometimes. I think they leave out of the back of the building, so I think you take care of them. So that's good.
That's right. We're good.
I won't publicize any of their names.
So we'll leave you on this, getting back to baseball, why we had you here, and again, thanks for the time. The impression that I'm getting is that there's no real timetable right now. You're just trying to get things in order so that if it kickstarts, there you go. But do you have an internal timetable?
No, we're truly trying to be ready if the opportunity presents itself.
Okay.
That means, and some people, like I hear, Joe, the point that you made about Oklahoma City, like in a perfect world, we just go ahead and build us a $1.2 billion awesome baseball stadium and knock on the door of MLB and say, here, come on over, we're ready. That's a little bit tricky and complicated and somewhat harder to do.
Kansas City built a hockey building that never got filled.
Yeah.
So
they get events there.
No, I know they do. But what I'm saying is it's not as simple as I was presenting it to be, like, build your stadium and the Rays will be here next week.
And if expansion is in 5 years or 2 years, all of those decisions and planning looks a little bit different. So there's a lot of people in this area beyond just the MLB Raleigh crowd that's here tonight to watch the Home Run Derby that would love to see this happen, that are brainstorming and thinking through it. We'll just have to see when we get an opportunity to do it. And there's an argument that our market is 100% going to continue to grow, probably grow faster than most anywhere else. Maybe we're even better positioned in 5 years.
Brian, I was told if you build it, they will come.
It is possible.
I'm just saying. I was told this in a baseball movie.
With you all's bully pulpit, you could move the needle, and the groundswell may just get it built.
So all jokes aside, I did want to close on the relationship with the MLB Raleigh guys. I mean, these guys have been. It's altruistic. It's almost sometimes I want to pat Lou on the head and be like, buddy, come on, man. But he's a true believer, and you see people showing up to an event like this to buy hats and get behind it. How did these guys kind of get on your radar, and what's that relationship like? And is it just a matter of just kind of getting more grassroots effort out and you guys kind of co-signing on it?
Yeah, we try to coordinate efforts. I first met them just as a baseball fan and person in Raleigh before I came to work for the Canes, and got to know them, got one of their hats, and since coming to work for the Canes, and they had met Tom Dundon before I came over and already had that relationship. So we try to keep up. I mean, we talk certainly once a month, coordinate efforts, but there's certainly a grassroots effort. They're a separate group. They do awesome stuff. I'm really impressed with what they've done. And if we get the opportunity to pursue a major league team, I think what they've done will absolutely help. And it's gotten a lot of people thinking about it, a lot of people interested in it. And I'm just impressed with what they've done, and the community efforts that they do are pretty cool because it brings a lot of goodwill and helps people. I mean, they've done a heck of a job. They know what they're doing. They put a lot of time and passion into it. They're good guys. I was just doing a little youth baseball talk with Lou a few minutes ago, getting that on the right track. So.
Very nice. Brian Fork, CEO, Carolina Hurricanes. We appreciate the time as always.
Yeah, thanks for being here tonight, guys.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping is brought to you by Enovana. You can check them out online at enovana.com.
If you have mess inside your mansion or trash in your cabana,
but you're right. They did change the StreamYard stuff. Like the audio's different now. Little buttons are different. The widgets are different.
It's kind of like when Google screws with stuff. I hate like your Gmail.
Yeah.
Like, why do I'm used to this. I don't need like a rounded edge. I don't need this. I don't need that. You know what I need? I need the routine.
Yeah.
I need the same shit I'm used to.
Fair enough. Just like we always do housekeeping to let you know what's going on.
Right.
Hey, folks, do us a favor. Buy some freaking tickets to the podcast festival. Just going to be straight up. Ticket sales right now, a little bit lagging behind where they were last year. We're going to have a good time, though. Will Wade could be showing up because Stephen Gottfried of Split Zone Duo was like the Will Wade whisperer. And if I've noticed something while I was on vacation, Will Wade loves a microphone. So he was talking trash to like the UNC 24/7 guy. Did you see that during his little State of the Summer address?
I did. That's how he began his summer press conference.
Where's Grant Hughes at?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I've missed this. I've missed this in the triangle when it comes to basketball. A little sizzle. I'm very excited about this. So Will Wade might be showing up. I don't know. No guarantees. Who's to say? We could be bringing special guests. Who knows? We shall see. But the bottom line is it's a good time at the Rialto. So go to therialto.com, buy your tickets today. It's going to be us, Big Screen Sports with our friend Caroline Darney, and of course the guys from Split Zone Duo. If you're not familiar with Split Zone Duo, they're an awesome college football podcast. And Alex Kirshner and Richard Johnson, who I've never met Steven before, but I know Alex and I know Richard. Really good dudes, and they're just a fun conversation about college football. Stephen Gottfried's more plugged in than people might realize, and he had a lot of info on the Bill Belichick stuff during the coaching search and all that stuff. So I'm sure he's got some more insight as to what's going to be this upcoming season. So go get your tickets today. Home Field is bringing you the goodies as well. We got an exclusive long sleeve tee that you're going to want to buy. We don't miss with this stuff with our friends at Home Field. The hoodie last year was fantastic. The design for the long sleeve t-shirt is fantastic this year. Of course, we might have access to some things while we're there. Speaking of which, speaking of access still going. Let me see if I can do this as StreamYard has changed the widgets around for me. Where is my share screen? There it is. We've got the Ovies and Giglio summer pop-up shop. Head on over to ogtrianglemediashop.com. That's ogtrianglemediashop.com. It'll take you to our basics storefront. You can get the Comfort Colors collection. We've got the 3 towers in both white and black. We've got that in a tank top form. We've got a new and improved Drunk OG shirt, black and white tank top version as well. And the OG hat vault is back open. We've got the Richardson 112 trucker hats in various colorways and our very special golf rope hat in 3 colors. So go to ogtrianglemediashop.com. You can find it there. I know people who initially ordered back in June, it's about a 4-week turnaround as the orders come in and the gear comes in and they, put the patch on the hat and they do the graphic printing and everything else. So it'll probably be about 4-week turnaround from when you order to when you get it. So be slightly patient on that because these things are artisanal. It's true, Joe. Artisanal shirts, handmade. So big thanks to our friends at Basics for doing that. Again, go to ogtrianglemediashop.com. We are going to be at Shady's on Thursday.
Thursday, we have a special 4:00 show from Shady's in downtown Garner. Come out and see us, please. Here's what you will get.
Okay.
4:00, we will be tapping OG Light. You got to pay for the beer, damn it. But as a special reward for you, we have wings from our friends at Wings Over for you. Those are free. We got ice cream.
Yes.
From our guy, Jared at Two Roosters. Thanks again so much to Jared last week for having us over at the Person Street location. We enjoyed that. We will have ice cream for free. So I say to you, come.
Free wings, free ice cream?
Yeah, you come for such things. I can guarantee it for the first 40 people. How about that? After that, you're kind of on your own. But
you buy the beer.
You still have to buy the beer. Okay.
And big thanks to Dimitri because we officially have a tap handle for OG Light for Shady's.
We do.
Very excited about this.
Yes.
And very excited about this.
We have other news about OG Light, don't we?
Yeah. So Whit and the crew over at Bond Brothers, we have our other canning run done. We have another 50 cases.
Okay.
I think it's in the refrigerator right now.
Okay. So our home base for this now.
Yeah.
Hayes Permar, very impressed. You know how it's very difficult for us to impress Hayes.
This is true.
We're interlopers, In
his world, yes.
In his world, we are interlopers. Yes. We are fakers. We are posers.
Mm-hmm.
We have new life in Hayes' eyes because
really?
The home base for your cans is going to be the Peace Street Market.
Amazing.
The Peace Street Market. Our guy Chris over at the Peace Street Market, the best beer selection in all of Raleigh. He's got it. Well, now he's got OG Light in cans. Head down there. Get yourself a 4-pack. It's a 4-pack of 16 ounces,
Yeah,
right?
4-pack tall boys that you can get. And I know that Chris is going to have it at Peace Street there in downtown Raleigh. Butcher's Market will have it as well. Trying to get a Durham location. I believe Beer Study is going to have OG Light as well. And of course, our friends at Longleaf will have OG Light. So I have to talk to Whit this week as I'm catching up post-vacation about where these things are going to be. And for
Oakwood as well. I know Anthony was asking for a re-up.
And our friends in Charlotte, if you want to get it, you got to come through us.
In Charlotte.
In Charlotte. We'll be there for ACC kickoff next week.
We'll have a connect for you there.
Because people are like, oh, what's your gimmick going to be this year? Like, the gimmick is our beer.
Yeah.
So who knows? You think Bill Belichick will want one?
Unlikely.
I think Dave Dorn will want one.
Possibly.
I think Dave will want one.
Possibly.
I think so. We'll see how that goes. I think Jim Phillips will want one.
Yeah.
He's a good Catholic. He'll drink.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's one thing I know about my
wine. It's not the blood of Christ. But.
So that's what's up with OG Light. And again, we'll be at Shady's on Thursday, starting at 4:00 for OG Live. Thanks to our friends at the Butcher's Market. And of course, we're there because of Whitaker and Hamer. So check them out online, wh.lawyer. Your attorneys and counselors at law. And that's wh.lawyer. Shout out to everybody who is doing the work of spreading the news about the Two Roosters ice cream flavor. Also, special shout out to people who are combining our flavor with Mike and Shane's flavor. Our friend Jonathan Rand did this. He combined the 2 scoops. So with ours specifically, it's if you like peanut butter, you're going to like our flavor. Who doesn't like peanut butter? So what really is the difference with the Two Roosters flavor that we have? Jared was the one. We give credit to Jared on this one. The salted fudge ripple inside is what makes it.
It was a good win for us.
Excellent.
Not
excellent
gonna lie
stuff.
to you.
And there's a cake version of it.
I know.
So you can order that throughout the month of July. Roosters.com.
His crew picks the cake, not him. So they knew what the best one was going to be. So
you're right. That's a win.
They went in.
That's a win.
And of course, I knew I was going to start a little bit of trouble with this.
Okay.
But thanks to our friends at Color Graphic, all you got to do is hit them up at sales@colorgraphic.com.
Yeah.
You could get your own kind of life-size deal here.
I saw the billboard you sent me.
I know Kahoot and his wife had said to me, "Hey, why don't we have our own cardboard cutout at Two Roosters?" I said, "Well, all you gotta do hit up our friends at Color Graphic, and you can have this amazing." See, now that was from our what was it, Wake magazine? Wake
Living magazine. Yeah,
that's actually a good picture of us.
Rare.
I know.
Rare photos.
I know. And then of course Glenn did his magic. So
of course
you need help from our friends at Color Graphic. Well, there you go.
They can help you out with that. So big thanks to Two Roosters. Check them out, tworoosters.com. And of course, our friends at Hometown Realty. We're going to be in Garner. It's the home base for Hometown Realty. You'll see the billboards, but they can help you out with any home sales or purchases throughout the Triangle and North Carolina. So hit them up, myhtr.com. Things have kind of flattened out a little bit, and there's always talk about rates going up and down and whatnot. So if you've been thinking about buying a house, now's the time to do it. Now is the time. So go to myhtr.com to find out more. And you've purchased a house or you've got a house, you're looking to save money, you want to make sure you're saving money with our friends at State Farm. Matt Davis and the crew out in Garner, they're going to help you out. Give them a call directly at 919-779-8277, or you can visit them online at insuregarner.com.
Sitting down with us at the local is president of the Carolina Hurricanes. He is Doug Warf. We're not going to talk baseball with you. We talk baseball with Brian Fork.
He's a much better source.
Let's talk building.
Okay.
How's it looking right now?
Brian would have been a good source on that.
He told me he had the hard hat out.
Yeah, he did. He did the tour today.
Our little media area is gone.
It looks really good. It's exciting. You know, we started the construction March or so to kind of make some spaces. But in the fan-facing areas, we started, just finished an 11-day, 20-hour-a-day blitz that they did. And a lot has been demoed. So it's looking like something's happening.
I feel like, look, I had Mike Sunheim and Kyle Hanlon give me a Sony Trinitron that used to sit up in the press row. That's how I'd watch replays. A little tiny Sony Trinitron that I still use today for dumb bits that we do here on the podcast.
Like a 2-inch screen?
Yeah. But I needed it because it had a little stereo jack. You could get the replays. Maybe there was some ACC basketball taking place that day when I was covering a game, so I could multitask. So that was my little souvenir. Is there anything left in the old media room? Or is that all gone now?
It's all gone. So there's some of the old photos and those things that we have in an office. So if you've got like a, Jeff Skinner Rookie of the Year photo that you wanted.
You know what I want, actually? You know what I actually want? We need it for the studio for our guests to sit in, because you know how we have a folding chair?
Oh, one of the red chairs.
I want one of the red chairs for the studio. Can we get a red chair for the studio?
We're still using those.
I mean, you obviously not, because you got rid of the media room. You don't need those anymore.
It wasn't the only place those red chairs lived.
I don't know if you've looked around. There's not a lot of media left, so there's not that many seats needed,
I can probably find a way for a red chair to leave with you.
Yes.
But,
okay. We got to bring it to our little moving museum at
those are
Studios.
mainly the same seats that go out in the bowl.
It didn't have to be the vinyl ones. It could be the old soft ones.
Yeah,
I know what Joe wants.
Yeah.
Joe wants a black tile from the bathroom.
Oh, God.
The worst.
Reflective black tile.
worst.
What a choice back in the day. Reflective black tile.
Much like my dad has a weird bathroom grate from the Orange Bowl that when it was torn down, Joe absolutely wants one of those black reflective tiles.
Most of the restrooms get renovated. I mean, 300 levels get renovated this offseason. I'll get you some black tile.
I'm sure a lot of us will
the
miss
club
those.
levels where the really nice black tile is. That'll be next year. I'll get you that. So.
All right, so let's kind of talk about from your perspective.
Yeah.
On a free agency offseason where you see some familiar faces going, some new faces that people are excited about coming in. It's kind of part of your job to put these guys front facing along. It's obviously it is Tulski's job and Dundon's job and Rod's job to make all that work on the ice. But you got to market these guys. It's all about getting them involved with the community and marketing and things like that. So how do you view an off season from your role?
So it's tough seeing guys leave anytime, right?
Yeah.
I think we are winning the off season. I listened. I almost called in. I almost
Sports
texted
phone?
in.
Curse or don't.
We were eating popsicles or something you quoted the other day.
I was not here. I was out of town.
You were gone. So you're recused from this.
Okay.
But we've had a great offseason. If you told me at the start of the offseason we're going to probably add a top 4 defenseman and a top 6 forward.
Yeah.
Those are 2 huge wins. Ehlers was arguably the top free agent left once the signing came out, and a lot of teams were going after him. For him to choose our team and our system, I think is huge. Keandre Miller, I think, will be a fan favorite within a year.
Yeah. He already won the press conference.
He did a great job on the press conference. Both guys, we have been told from the teams they're leaving, are great community guys, are great outreach guys. So I think they're going to win over our fan base with their play and who they are as people. But anytime you're doing that, somebody's leaving. Mm-hmm. So Brent Burns was one of my daughter's favorite players. So that was a tough one the next day to be like, hey, Harps, sorry, but Burns is out of town. But that's just the cycle it goes in sometimes. But I think our team is better today than where we ended, and that's always the goal in the offseason.
What is your player window wrap budget?
We're okay right now.
Okay.
We are usually pretty smart about who we choose.
I've always wondered about that.
And even back to my first stint when I was VP of marketing, we would have a conversation at that time, whether it was Jim Rutherford or Ron Francis, come trade deadline, who's on a safe list as we create marketing materials for the offseason and for next year's season ticket campaign. You'd usually get a safe list of 6 or 7 guys.
Okay.
Usually no big surprises as to who is omitted or not.
Okay.
Same true now.
Okay, but you do have some new guys and how you market them, like Ehlers being one of them. I'm with you. That's a big deal for the Hurricanes to get. So have you ever, in your time with marketing or now, has there ever been a situation where you think, all right, you know what, this is somebody that I think you can, but maybe they're not all that interested. They're just more interested on the game, and they just want to focus on the game, let the game do the talking for them, and not necessarily be front-facing. Have you ever come across that?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of those guys.
Because hockey players are funny like that sometimes.
Yeah.
They're very, very humble dudes that don't want to put themselves out there much.
I think one of our biggest challenges, and you guys know this well, hockey guys behind closed doors are hilarious and big personalities. And then when they get in front of the media, sometimes they tighten up.
This is why Jarvis is a godsend.
He is a godsend.
Right.
And I hope he stays that way.
Yeah.
Right. I hope that doesn't change for him. And I hope there's more guys that come in and feel comfortable because Jarvis has success. We could use some of that. But yeah, I think more often than not, there's guys that you wish were a little bit more outgoing or were really their normal selves in front of camera. But this team's good. I mean, we have a really good team right now. I think that's why you could argue we overachieved last year by
would agree with you on
conference finals. I think we had a good room, and I think that room has been protected in the offseason. I think it'll be as good, if not better, next year.
Well, you have the easiest sell. You have Rod Brindamore in town.
Great starting point.
Right?
Yeah. And you've got guys in leadership roles. I mean, it's not just Jordan Stahl. He catches a lot of it of like, he's Rod too, right? But Jordan Martinook and Sebastian Aho are right there with him. And when those guys set a standard of here's how we operate, here's how we act, here's what we're trying to achieve, it's pretty simple. And Slavin, I mean, you could go down the list of guys who are great leaders, who understand their role, who understand, hey, we've got a community aspect to it too.
This is something that Joe has brought up during the Four Nations tournament. I'm curious it happens when something local gets picked up national and you're like, where you all been? Did that not happen in the Four Nations tournament with Jacob Slavin? It's like, hey, he's really good. What you don't say. Or Jarvis.
Yeah.
Same vote, right?
Yeah. Slavin was by far like his breakout moment.
Yeah.
And now it's great too because we just had him out at Lenovo. Lenovo had their CEO in, had the Intel CEO in. We took Jacob out there because they were like, hey, do you and Brian want to come out? And we're like, we're not as cool as Jacob. And Jacob now has international acclaim. So
of course.
They knew who he was.
That's
from
perfect.
that. It was much cooler than me and Brian. Or at least me. I'll take me.
So I've been fortunate enough. I have some friends that have been able to enjoy events at the second level at the arena.
I'm nervous where this is going. Yeah.
But let's be honest, that can be an expensive outing, right?
The PNC Bank club level.
Yeah. Or either one, end zone. I feel like it's a premier experience, premium experience.
They sponsored the whole club level. Just putting that out.
I didn't realize it was the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you guys made a smart move this year to try to renovate the third level, which would be something that's, I think, going to be more affordable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do we see that third level area kind of playing out? And is it something that maybe I can bring somebody to
and not break the bank?
Not feel like it was the end of the world.
Yeah, I think that's what is exciting. Not the end of the world. All fair comments coming on here. I think that's what's exciting for us about the 300 level is it provides something for every fan. Brian says that well. You know, when they redo buildings, they talk about starting at the top and the bottom and then kind of working their way out. So it makes sense. You start at the ice level and you start at the 300 level. So that's what we're doing this offseason. I think it's going to be great. It's the first time in 26 years that level has had any upgrades.
Yeah.
The view bar, I think, will become the focal point for the 300 level where people hang out. It's going to have this great view out to the ice. It'll be even better than the club level bar because the club level bar is set back.
Yeah.
You can't walk up to the ledge.
Right.
At the view bar, you'll be able to walk up to the ledge of the overlook, see the entire game. Above it, we're keeping some seats. That's kind of a new development. We're trying to figure out how that operates, but I think that'll be a fun area. And right behind that view bar will be a new upgraded concession area that's more of a grab-and-go style, kind of like our marketplace on the main concourse, but it'll also have hot food, so hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken tenders that you can pick up, grab to go.
Now, will that only be a season ticket option, or will that be a per game, by game, maybe?
You mean
Dundon got here, times were tough.
Yep.
He gave us like a speed pass for like that February. I vote we bring the speed pass back for that area.
Canes also hadn't made the playoffs
I think
in 10 years.
that area will operate a lot how the Buffalo Brothers deck operates.
Okay.
So
but you have to buy a seat for that, no?
No, there will be some areas there that are. So like the wings of it are like we reserve for groups. And then the front is an SRO, first come, first serve. You'll see people run back to some of those seats. And I think you'll see the same thing at the view bar once we get it open.
Okay.
It's going to be, I'm excited to see that place. It'll open up the 300 level It brings the energy from the inside the bowl out to the concourse from the 3-0. It's going to be a really cool addition.
All right, now I need for you to. You're much smarter than me. You did much better than I did at NC State in the College of Management. Look where you are. Look where I am.
Look where we are.
So you guys have Roback sponsorships.
We can make that happen. These silly licensing rules. I mean, I'm not the one who makes them.
I'll admit that as progressive as I can be about what it is to go to a sporting event in 2025. It's not like my dad. My dad wants to go to a game, sit down, watch the game, things like that. I know as time progresses, you go to games, and it's much more than just sitting down in your seat and watching the game. There's all sorts of activations, all sorts of stuff that you do. The food has to be upgraded, things like that. But I need you to explain like I'm 5. What is the point of a bunker suite?
What's the point of a bunker suite?
What's the point of a bunker suite? Because I thought, again, my idiot brain, I thought, so these bunker seats, you'll be able to come out the bottom and see the ice or see the court. But the bunker really is that. It's a bunker. You can't see anything. So what is
You're
the
not
point
about bunker life, Joe.
I am not.
You gotta.
I'm not that rich.
That's why I asked about the third level.
Right. So it's clearly not for me. So who is that
Best way to explain it. So the bunker suites, to your point, it would have taken way too much for us to blow out. You'd have to have blown out the whole south end of the arena to make it happen.
Okay.
And with the way our seats work and the way that some of them are retractable because of NC State, you probably could not have gotten there.
Gotcha.
Now, if you have a bunker suite, you have seats that are right there near the glass on that south end.
Okay.
So your seats are usually rows C, D, or E, right as you walk out.
Okay.
So you got great seats.
Okay.
And the way we're looking at it, you've got kind of 3 landing spots, right? You've got the Lenovo Legend Club, which is an all-inclusive food and beverage area that's down there. You've got your bunker, and then you've got your seats.
Okay.
We think people are going to be in the seats during the game time. Intermission, they'll bounce from their bunker to the Lenovo Legend Club.
Okay.
And both are open pre- and post-game. So it kind of gives a little bit more. And you're right outside the Canes locker room, so as guys
So
warm
right
up, you
there.
see that.
Okay.
As the visiting team takes the ice, you could walk your friends over who are in from Pittsburgh or your clients who are in from Boston, watch the Bruins take the ice. It's just from an entertainment level, it's next level. And you're kind of outside the public eye. There are some people who like those things. Some people love the public eye. You're made for it.
Bill
Some
Belichick.
people are not.
Bill Belichick loved it.
He might have enjoyed a bunker suite.
I'm going to translate that for you. The people on the ice level pay a shit ton of money and don't exactly get everything that they probably want.
That's fair.
But now you give them this bunker suite access, and it's a little bit. It's a little bit of an upgrade.
It's pretty cool too.
It's
You've
a little
got
bit of an
8K
upgrade.
So the Cosm cameras that are installed at our building, and we're trying to get those wired in, so you have this 8K camera view on a big screen inside your bunker.
Yeah.
Be kind of cool too.
I guess where I'm missing the point. So Kelly's law firm has season tickets essentially to concerts.
Yep.
And with the ticket, because it's meant to entertain clients and whatnot, and sometimes there are concerts that nobody claims, and we end up going. Like, for instance, that's how I saw Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla.
Yeah.
That was quite
Great
the
show.
That was an experience for
That
you.
it was
Educational.
educational.
Would you like to come to Ghost tomorrow night?
Dude, I can't get into
Tuesday
Ghost.
night?
I can't get into Ghost, man. I tried. I really tried. I was like, okay, cool. Bring us some metal back. And I'm like,
All right.
now Deftones comes to town, and then we have to have a conversation.
How about your worst nightmare? A building full of 10,000, 20,000
Adam
people
Sandler?
who look like me for Adam Sandler.
Whoopity-doo. Yeah,
Great night.
I think I'm good on that one.
I'm excited.
No, I know. No, so I guess what I'm getting at, so with those tickets as it currently stands, you would go, it's kind of a pain in the ass to go into, essentially was the Canes locker room that
Yep.
you would retrofit as a lounge.
Yep.
Now, it's kind of cool because it gives people an opportunity to go check out the locker room, which I didn't realize it could actually smell that good on concert nights. I was shocked.
Thank you.
Whatever they're using down there, I
good.
need
Yeah.
for my kids' hockey bag.
I think Inovana might have some.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope they do. I got to hit up Derek to see if they actually have that stuff that you guys use for the Hockey Funk, because Hockey Funk's on a different level. But I could see where it was such a pain to get to, and I guess this is what the bunkers are accomplishing.
Yeah, the bunkers and the Lenovo Legend Club.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
the Lenovo Legend Club will take the place of that.
Plus, if
your
you're
seats for that, your concert seats won't be the same as your hockey seats.
Okay.
So bunkers get a handful of concerts included. They can add on others at a right of first refusal, and they get what are our Victory Club, our Champions Club seats, which are right out there on the side, right in the front row. They get really good concert seats.
Okay. The one thing hockey doesn't allow you to do, which they do in the NBA, like when you have a courtside club, you can take their orders, bring the food out to them. You know, it's not, I say unwashed masses. I'm being a little bit of an asshole, of course. But it is a little bit, like if you paid that much money, you would want a little bit something extra.
you want an
but you
experience.
would also want, you don't necessarily want to walk all the way up to the concourse because, you know, you're not being a jerk, but if you paid
That amount of money, I'm not going up there.
$70 and I paid, you know, $2,000, well, yeah, I would like a little bit of a benefit. So I think,
Well, and we went up to visit Washington during the playoffs and toured their renovation. They're doing a big reno right now.
and we've all been in those bowels. That's where they put us for the
can
ACC
imagine.
tournament.
Well, and those bunkers, they're calling them vaults. They're nice. I think ours are nicer, but it's crazy. They showed us the hockey price, which was much higher than ours. Like,
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Then they showed us the basketball price, and it was like, dear Lord. Like, I mean, it's 2-3x the hockey price.
A different kind of
Because
experience, though, for
it
a
is,
basketball
and
game.
as they call it, feet on the court
Yep.
is different. When your feet are on the court, a guy's sliding into you, you're catching a ball. It's different
Yeah.
than being behind the glass.
Yeah.
So,
Doug, thanks for putting up with us.
always enjoy it.
I know. You're just like, Doug, just sit down. You can ask me all these weird
Whatever, you
questions.
guys and your merch. I mean, between these guys, MLB to Raleigh, your merch, you guys are crushing it.
I actually
you
do have a
know-
hat for you
Yeah?
that you'll like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you know we have a beer?
I heard about that.
Ice cream. You know, you got the
I
ice cream.
love the ice cream.
What was your scouting report on the ice cream?
So, you know, I think they knew they tilted the scale because I got a scoop of yours and a scoop of Shane and Mike's.
Yeah.
They gave me a
as you
bigger
should.
scoop of
as
yours.
you should. Yeah.
I'm so shocked that Mike's involved bourbon.
yeah.
Now,
So shocked.
you would crush them until I got a big piece of brownie at the bottom of theirs. It almost came back to even. I would still give you guys
Okay.
the slight head nod. So
Okay.
well done.
We
Well done.
appreciate
It was
that.
delicious.
Well, thank
People
you.
should go try it. Love Two Roosters.
They should.
Ice cream is fun. They only have like 2 weeks left.
Yeah, and they got get the ice cream cakes too. You got to put those order in because we have our.
Can you
own-
get a cake?
You get
Yeah,
the
there's a
cake.
cake version.
They made our
Ours
flavor
is
of the
a
cake.
This is not good for bathing suits either.
Oh, no, I gave up.
Okay.
It's whatever.
All right.
Doug, we appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys.
Big thanks to Miller Lending. Check them out online at millerlending.com. You can go to millerlending.com/theog. That's our landing page. Or call them directly at 919-447-3377. There's all sorts of reasons to refinance, not just necessarily about the rates. Maybe you're looking to do a home remodel. I might find myself in that situation as our sunroom from 1987 seems to be falling apart. All the rain that we've been getting, there's some leaking going on, so it might be time to rip that bad boy out.
No,
Might be-
thank you.
Might be time to refinance in order to fund a remodel. I think situations like that come up. Maybe you're looking to consolidate debt because of all the credit card debt that you've accumulated over time. You're not alone. Just go look at the national news in those situations. You're looking for a much lower rate than that credit card. You're going to find it with our friends at Miller Lending. And more importantly, after you refinance, you understand you haven't paid any closing costs. So if the rates come down in the next 6 months, you can refinance again and you're not sweating it because you're not having this mythical break-even point in your brain that locks you in, keeps you flexible. So contact our friends at Miller Lending. How is Gordon? You catch up with him last week?
We did.
Okay.
And thanks to Chip Patterson, we have a name for that segment now.
We do?
We do.
What is it?
Miller time.
Dude. So we had to fly into, I went to Glacier and Banff.
Okay.
And I had to fly into Kalispell, Montana. That's the Glacier International Airport.
Bustling, I'm guessing.
It is the bougiest airport outside
Oh.
Jackson Hole.
Really?
Oh, yeah. With all the skiers.
Oh,
Oh, it's bougie, dude.
I do not associate bougie in Montana.
Oh, big sky, big money.
Okay.
Just saying. So,
This is like Kevin Costner's fault.
kind of.
Okay.
So there's this, I was looking at what homes we're going for
Because, like, it's just like golf in Hawaii, right? Like, no one would have ever thought
to go
to go to like that part
Utah?
of the country
Yeah.
because
right.
without the TV show.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So there's a place called Moose's Saloon. And it is as dank as you would imagine a place called Moose's Saloon would be. Pizza was excellent, by the way, but they've got sawdust and peanut shells on the floor. I don't think they ever sweep it up.
Okay.
Not only did they have kokanee beer, which is like the glacier beer out of Canada. I was excited to find that. Because the last time I had that beer was 2006 in Edmonton for Game 6.
Oh, jeez. Not Kokanyemi.
No.
Okay.
By the way, is he still with the Canes?
I believe so.
Why? Anyway, so I digress.
Luke got the people going. Yeah.
I got to talk to Luke. Again, I'm still like in sports reorbit. They had Miller Genuine Draft. They had MGD. So we talk about Miller time.
Did you get some the other day at the P Street when we went?
I didn't believe it was really there. So when they had it at this bar for $2, I was like, fine. I haven't had MGD in 20 years. I didn't even know they brought it back. So I was very excited about that. Anyway, Miller time, millerlending.com/the-OG. You're going to get something a lot better than MGD. You're going to get a Raleigh Wine Shop gift basket with all sorts of goodies. So go check them out. You just bought a house. You're looking to remodel some things. You're just looking for a quick fix as it relates to doing something in your house to improve it. One easy way to go about that is with our friends at Blue & Blinds. They brought you After Dark during the hockey season. They're going to be bringing you ACC college football talk this upcoming season, including ACC kickoff next week. I'm very excited about that. So Blue & Blinds, check them out online, 919-980-9815. They can do something as simple as fixing your blinds. That's a thing that happens. Or if you're looking to automate, you're looking for true blackout curtains and shades, they can handle all that stuff. So check them out online, blueandblinds.com, or just call them directly at 919-980-9815. And of course, we took a brief hockey break with Doug Warf. A brief one.
I feel like it was a little bit more than brief.
It was about a 20-minute hockey break with him. Yeah. You're looking for a brief lunch break or just a pick-me-up in the afternoon. Our friends at Happy and Hale can make that happen. Download the app today. Use our promo code OG25 to save 25% off your first order on the app. And you can order online, have it picked up, ready to go, and you can go about your day. So if you're looking for a smoothie, the Almond Brothers is absolutely money.
Let's take a break. Let's take a hockey break. Brought to you by Happy and Hale.
So download that app. Use that promo code OG25 today.
So joining us on the Heister Automotive Group microphone while we're here at the local is one of the gentlemen that's putting all this stuff together, Lou Pascucci from MLB Raleigh. Lou, what's up, man?
What's up, Joe? Joe, thanks for having me on
all
here.
The Joes.
All the Joes.
Thanks for coming out.
Well, thanks for having us out. Thanks for inviting us out. We talked to Brian Fork about the big picture of where the Canes are, where Dundon is, what his job is, what he's trying to do, where things stand with baseball. But a lot of this grassroots effort is kind of tied back to what y'all are trying to do. And it seems to be something, and even I'm guilty of a misconception of what you guys are trying to do with MLB Raleigh and kind of get the conversation going. For those who are unfamiliar with the concept and why you have the hats, why you have the pennants, why you're doing events like this, what are you trying to do with MLB Raleigh?
Yeah, we were just trying to start a conversation, and we were trying to put Raleigh in the mix. So when you hear the commissioner talk about expansion, we'd like Raleigh to be in the mix. And you know, it started over a beer. Ryan Foose and myself, we were working at IBM, and we were having a beer at Tyler's Tap Room, which is gone now.
That's a callback.
Yeah. So it's been a while. You know, we've been doing this for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, and like we just were wondering why Raleigh is never mentioned. You know, it's always Charlotte, it's always Nashville. But you know, I grew up here. I played baseball here. Like I know that this area is hungry for baseball, and I've watched it grow here. And I just, you know, my wife's from her family's from Kansas City, so I go to a lot of Royals games. And when I see the Royals, you know, bringing in a good revenue, having decent attendance. I wonder, why can't Raleigh do this? Because obviously I feel like this city and the growth of this city is on pace, if not better than Kansas City. So, you know, we dove into the numbers, and the numbers kind of blew us away to the point where we were like, we should maybe do something with this. And then it became to say, like, you know, what are we going to do this? Like walk into a billionaire's office or email the government, you know? So we said, like, you know, no one's ever, like, what can we do? Like, what we could do is try to start a little grassroots effort. We're designers, marketers. And so we thought, you know, like, let's if Nashville's like the sexy city, or Portland maybe is like a sexy city to some people, let's make Raleigh the city that cares the most, and shows that they have the passion here. So, baseball's, they kind of failed in Oakland. They've kind of failed in Tampa. In those markets, you look at the numbers, they should be like wildly successful.
Yeah.
But what happened? There's not a passion for baseball there, maybe. They're not getting fans to come out. There's numerous reasons. But what if we could, as a grassroots effort, just go ahead and prove that from the get-go and just kind of grease the wheels and maybe make some noise, maybe get the government interested, maybe get then a billionaire interested. I mean, it's a long shot. It's definitely like a long shot idea, but it's the best we could do. And we just felt like if we don't do it now, nobody's going to do it. So we just decided to try to do it. And we do this completely void of profit. Like all the money we take in, we give to the boys club. We're fixing up the girls club's field. We just bought them jerseys. So we wanted to make it super authentic and just put our money where our mouth is. And we just think that's kind of Raleigh's brand anyway. So,
of the demographic numbers, what is one that stands out the most to you?
Where it started initially was looking at population of this area. And I don't think that's the most important number. I think media market maybe is a pretty important number here. There's 7 teams in Major League Baseball are in a smaller media market than we are. A lot of people wouldn't know that. I didn't know that. And then population was interesting too, because if the way people look at that statistic is they go to the MSA, Metro Statistical Area, and they just go down that list and they're like, oh man, Raleigh's super small. And never really questioned, like, that doesn't really make sense if you live here. So let's look into what's going on with that. Well, Raleigh's metro area is just, I had to dive into what defines a metro area, and it's defined by commuter in and out. So then you look into that, and like most cities are hub and spoke cities where you have a center, and then you have a suburb growth out. And here you have 3 population points on a single commuter belt. So it's different. And with RTP in the middle, that the MSA definition kind of broke this area apart, and now you have Durham as its own MSA and Raleigh as its own MSA. And so prior to that happening, we were the Triangle MSA. That's when the Hurricanes came here.
Yeah.
And so let's recombine that to be fair, because that's about 4.5 thousand square miles. Kansas City is working, their MSA is like 7,000 square miles. So when you're using MSA, it's crazy. But when you combine us with Durham and get a fair apples to apples comparison, our market is crazy. Like if we landed expansion, we would be the 3rd largest market to land expansion in the past 50 years. And I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know that number.
So how'd you link up with the Canes?
Because
I see the hats at the Eye.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, kind of how that happened is obviously, Tom's come out and
Tom Dundon, owner of the Carolina Hurricanes,
is the interested billionaire who wants to make this happen. And so, our hope was that we would make enough noise, get enough attention, that the government would get involved, and then eventually Tom or somebody like that would get involved. And coming out of COVID, we had we had been doing this and it had been growing, and it was just a fun thing. And we were like, people are hearing about it and it's gaining some momentum, but there's no real players involved yet. But let's keep pushing. I mean, this is fun. And then coming out of that, Charlie Perouse, who is the former budget director under Cooper, reached out, was introduced to us by David Meeker.
Yeah.
And who owns Trophy, and connected with him and said, hey, look, I'm trying to do this too. Inside, the Governor Cooper wants this as well.
Yeah, good economic driver, all that stuff.
And he's been out there publicly, and now Josh Stein has been out there publicly. And so the government is obviously interested in this. And that's how we got connected, because, we said we'd love to help. Anything that we could do to help. As far as, we'll continue to do what we're doing. And if you need statistics, and, they've helped us get a lot of these statistics. So we have access to statistics we wouldn't have before through the Department of Commerce, I believe, and Yeah. So it's kind of worked like that. And then when Tom came into the fold, that group and us came into the fold to just say, hey, look, we got this community arm. How can we help?
I wonder, do you do the math in your head of these scenarios? You mentioned Nashville being the darling, right? Does it have to be does it have to be a Western expansion target, or do you kind of feel in your heart of your hearts there's room for both potential expansion teams in both Nashville and Raleigh?
I mean, we've discussed that. I mean, I think the thing is that you've had the commissioner of Major League Baseball come out and say, I want one in the West, one in the Western time zone, and one on the Eastern time zone.
Okay.
Nashville's not in the Eastern time zone, by the way. So maybe he misspoke, or maybe he wants one in the Eastern time zone.
Right.
Yeah.
I just found out.
It's right on the line. I think like Knoxville might be the line around there.
Maybe.
But anyways, I think that's what they're going to go for. And I think that the driver of that is realignment. So I think if you're paying attention to what baseball is trying to do, Major League Baseball is trying to create these fan nodes. So, we know AL East, NL East. That's how we kind of segment the teams because that's how they've done it. And I think in the future, that's going to be gone. And I think what you're going to have is these groupings of closer together teams to kind of drive fandom and rivalry. And they're doing it with AAA baseball. So the last 3 AAA teams that have been added have all been within 25 miles of their parent club. That used to be a reason that we won't get MLB.
Yeah.
Right?
Which has always been.
Shouldn't get MLB.
That was always a bit of propaganda.
And we sat down. We actually had to talk to minor league baseball legal to actually figure out that is not a real rule. But that rule, honestly, had been like a non-starter for this conversation. Even for I've been always looking into this, and it's been 10, 15 years.
Because there's vested interests from other parties that would be affected by such things. They might have the money to have a minor league baseball team, but they don't have the money to own a major league baseball team.
I mean, I understand that could be a factor.
And we can wrap the conversation on this. Grassroots efforts, markets, all that stuff. I think Stephen Malik found out the hard way with NCFC that there's a difference between guys with millions of dollars and guys with billions of dollars. And during all that time to try to bring MLS here to Raleigh, I saw the grassroots efforts there.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I remember doing a show from downtown Raleigh in City Market when they were announcing the stadium plans and the Downtown South project and how they're going to be pushing for MLS and things like that. And Malik's got the vision. He's got all those things, and he had all the business people lined up. But the one thing Malik did not have was a big B next to his name. He just had a big M. Yeah. And that's when David Tepper could come in and overpay for expansion fees for MLS, and that's why they had a fast-track MLS team. So this is why Dundon's kind of the X factor in all this. This conversation doesn't start. This conversation ends without Tom Dundon.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think one of the misconceptions is that we were trying to be like the ownership group or something.
Yeah.
That's never been. We were trying to kind of recruit an ownership group to come in to say, guys, this market is really good, and there's so many people that love baseball here. You can fill a stadium. You can. And Major League Baseball revenue numbers are wild. If people hadn't looked at it, you can stink and make a lot of money.
Yes.
The Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox are gonna
they
subsidize you.
Yes, right. Oh, the baseball setup is in a way that you are going to make money. So
what do you like to call baseball, Joe?
Baseball, just like hockey, is a niche sport. It just so happens to be in the biggest niches. Yes.
New York is a pretty big niche. Boston's a pretty big niche.
All big niches. Lou, I'm really not about to fight with you. What I'm going to say to you, though, is this is some serious Pollyanna shit here.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He was gone last week. I can't stand that baseball won't automate the strike zone.
Sure.
Okay? Yeah. You're probably over here no, Giglio.
There's an art.
Yeah.
There's an art to
to the strike zone.
Let them make their mistakes, Giglio. The perfect game that was ruined by the guy who was blatantly out at first base.
Yeah.
Let him have it, Giglio. You're legitimately sitting here telling me you're a grown-ass man. How old are you, Lou?
Yeah, I'm 41 years old.
You are 41 years old.
Yeah.
You're sitting over here telling me this is all just the better angels of Lou. This is your pursuit to bring baseball to Major League Baseball. Has nothing to do with you.
we don't put our name out there.
No, I know.
We've done this.
It's
on
completely
purpose.
selfless, is what I'm getting at. I'm applauding this.
I appreciate it. I mean, I just think it doesn't get done any other way. Like if you put your name out, then this is a grift. They're taking money. They're hawking hat. You know, if you don't do it the right way, it's not going to happen. And so then what's the point? You know, really. I live here. I have a family here. I love baseball. I want to sit in box seats for the rest of my life with my son. And if I don't do this
and watch Major League Baseball,
we didn't know who was going to do it.
That's great.
So.
Right.
And he's actually hawking hats, and it's going to a good cause. You and me, we're hawking hats. To make sure we can,
Let's
pay
do
the
a
mortgage.
collab hat.
I'm all in on a collab. We'll do an OG. We'll do an OG hat vault once again.
Right.
Hey Lou, hey man, thanks for having us out. I know that we've had our differences in conversations about Major League Baseball, but I do think that one thing will align us, and that is if there's a motivated billionaire. I like the chances a hell of a lot more than I did before.
Yes.
So that's what it really comes down to.
I would also just say restoring our faith in humanity. You're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. That's wild.
Couldn't be us.
I'm saying in 2025, that's, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of shit going on right now in the world, and you're over here trying to do something to better where you live, and that is commendable.
When we started this, we both work in like design and marketing, and so part of that job is kind of grimy. Like everything you're doing for the company you work for is to make them money.
Sure.
And as creatives, like that's not why you got into this. And so it's nice to be able to run like an authentic, like what if there is no catch? What if it is authentic? This is our chance to kind of run that and see what happens. And to all the businesses out there, if you do things authentically and it's not always all about the bottom dollar, people seem to like it a little bit more. So.
All right, man. Well, thanks for having us out, and good luck. This event will be cool. The hats are great. And where can people find you? MLBRaleigh.com.
Yeah, MLBRaleigh.com. Come on, join the movement. We have an email list at MLBRaleigh.com on all socials.
And purposely no nickname.
No, all of that's by design, like color agnostic, black and white, because the community needs to talk about that. We've had design events where the community can look at that, and no nickname. That's not for us to decide. Let's let the community do that. Yeah. Eventually, a billionaire will do that.
A billionaire will decide, and they'll cook the books.
on
After the voting, because remember, I think with the wasn't Utah was supposed to be something, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that.
They couldn't afford the
that's
copyright.
The whole conversation will become, we're not the Oaks, we're not.
Yeah, we're not this, we're not
It's
that.
not worth it. The idea is viability of Major League Baseball in Raleigh, and that's what we're sticking to.
The last time readers got to name a sports team, it lasted a year, and they didn't win a game.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Skyhawks.
Yeah.
All right, man. We appreciate it. We'll
Thanks,
talk to you
guys.
later.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah.
Big thanks to our friends at the Butcher's Market. They bring you the mailbag, which is coming back. They bring you OG Live, which will be there Thursday, Shady's, 4 o'clock. Thanks to our friends at the Butcher's Market. And also big thanks to the Butcher's Market for having prepared meals so that when I got stuck in Minneapolis overnight and having to sleep on the terminal floor to get a rebooked flight at 7:05 a.m., you know what made it really easy when I got back? Manicotti in the freezer.
You did what now?
So flying back from Glacier through Minneapolis back to RDU, there was a mechanical issue on one of the planes.
Yeah.
They couldn't fix it, so they had to go get a new plane out of the hangar.
Okay.
But then that delayed things. And then the crew timed out at 10:30 at night.
Okay.
Because that's federal law.
It's a thing.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
And they had kind of made a mistake in rushing us onto the plane before they had completed the security sweep. So they had to get people off the plane, which added to the time, which added to the timeout. And of course, that didn't happen. So all this is happening. Everybody's mad. They had to actually call security because somebody got really, really upset.
I can see that.
I got on the Delta app and I was like, what is an alternative flight?
Oh boy.
7:05 in the morning. So the kids got their first sleeping on the terminal floor experience.
Wow.
You haven't lived until you've done that.
It's fair.
Yeah. So all this is to say, after an unexpected travel delay, thankfully the Butcher's Market has all these already prepared meals. So all I had to do was get the 4-cheese manicotti out and we were good to go.
Smart.
Put that bad boy in the oven for about an hour and a half and we are ready to go. So all that is at the Butcher's Market. Check them out online at thebutchersmarkets.com. all that rain, I noticed rained a lot. We've had some flooding. It's been pretty bad. With the rain comes the bugs and the mosquitoes and things like that. Our friends at Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority are going to help you keep that in check. So check them out online at bugsbite.com. You can bundle and save with our friends at Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. And of course, Roback. Check them out online, roback.com, OG20. I was trying to spread the good word of Roback in Canada.
I noticed that some of your pictures had a certain 5-panel hat.
I had that 5-panel hat that I no longer have in my possession. It's a grizzly bear's hat now.
It was donated.
It's a mountain goat's hat at this point.
Those who come from the sea must return to the sea.
Yeah, I was doing a red bus tour in Glacier. They had the top down. It was a gorgeous day, but the wind caught my hat just right, and that bad boy went out of the top of the red bus, and now a marmot is wearing it.
Ooh.
Maybe.
I'm not sure I know what a marmot is.
You know what? I always thought marmot was just a brand.
Squirrel or a chipmunk?
It almost looks like a beaver.
Okay, I'm close.
It looks like a beaver. Yeah. There was one, we went up to the Hidden Lake Trail. There was a marmot that was aura farming.
Oh, just standing up. Marmot's got a little heft to it.
He's a little thick with two C's.
It's like a woodchuck.
A little bit. So that Roback hat, which was super comfortable, it did the job. I'm going to have to order another one.
Well, I might know a guy who could help you out.
Let's hope so.
I might.
Let's hope so.
Maybe.
And also the hoodie came in handy when I was on a raft. What? Was that funny?
So you don't go back and watch the episode.
I do not. So when I go on vacation, I go on vacation.
Hysterically. The last time we were here, I had to say to Hayes Permar twice, I really, really, really wish Joe Ovies was here today.
Okay.
We did one whole segment about gifts.
Okay.
So you know where that one went.
Yeah. You don't like giving me gifts because I don't appreciate them enough or something.
Right. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Cat dad. Yeah.
That would look. That cat
the
dad
only
mug,
gift that I ever got you that you liked.
And the
only one.
And somebody stole it. Okay. Office stolen.
And it must have been Adam Gold then, because I don't know anyone else who owns a cat. Or was it Video Joe? Does Video Joe have cats?
Yes.
It was Video Joe.
Maybe it was Video Joe.
God, damn it. And then the other segment was about, we were talking about war machines.
Yes.
And I was trying to explain why none of the football teams were on the war machine list. But lo and behold, I went and I ranked all of the teams since 2000 by their Sagarin rating. You would never guess where all of NC State's teams ranked ahead of all of those other crap Coastal Division winner teams, those one-off Coastal Division winner teams.
Okay.
They ranked ahead of all of them except the Carolina team in 15 that went 8-0.
Cool.
In the ACC. Yeah. So I was
cool.
I literally had to say twice, I really wish Joe Ovies was here today.
Let's get to that, shall we?
Okay.
Because I've noticed a pattern when I'm not here, you like talking about things that you and I disagree about, and you just act definitively like, now that I'm free of Ovies, I can, like, this is something that I'm used to.
Only.
No, this is something I'm used to because Gold said the same thing one time to my face. Like, when I'm unburdened with a co-host. I mean, it's not lost on me that he won the NSMA Sportscaster of the Year when I was no longer his co-host. It's not lost on me. And I congratulate him. See, now that you're unburdened, you're unshackled from my bullshit. Guess what? You can have all your takes and be right all the time, even though you're not. So clearly, I know this came up in conversation because I got a text to the sports phone.
I was going to say, I do feel at a loss without our sports phone.
919-444-2211. Call the OG sports phone and curse or don't.
It's definitely from Paul or one of your UNC wonks.
It's 8:04. I believe this is Sean.
Okay,
who texted.
Close. I was so close.
Yeah, not willing to. There's a text. Not willing to concede State would have won the Coastal. You can't just say if they would have been in the Coastal, they would have won the division once. You can't generalize it. You can't say a state team would have won some year. Give me which state team if you put them in that year's Coastal. Blah 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 blah. He goes on. Look, here's the thing. I'm going to say this once. I've said it before. I'm just going to say this. what I love about the attitude of, well, State would have won the Coastal once, given what we know about the Coastal, that every team in the Coastal,
including Notre Dame.
Right. But
I mean, technically not.
But this was all before Kevin Keats killed NC State shit.
Yes.
So if we are to believe the law of the wolf, your own fucking law.
That's different.
No, this is your own fucking law.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, what would have happened was that Miami would have gotten his head out of its ass and actually would have been back to you. Okay. You know.
No, you would have been proud of Hayes because he's about to. He made the point you're about to make.
You know, Virginia Tech wouldn't have just shat the bed the way that they did after they initially started out hot after expansion and whatnot. The point is, this idea that State would have won the Coastal goes against what we know all things NC State. You still would have shit the bed when you've had chances. Let's not act like State didn't have chances. We just did this with the top losses. Did we not? With chances to win the Atlantic?
Yeah.
So the thing would have happened where, you know, if you flip Carolina and the Atlantic would have been the Coastal, is what I'm getting at. The Atlantic would have been the Coastal. Clemson never would have gotten fire. Like all that kind of stuff, right? Never would have happened because life requires balance.
It does.
That's all I'm saying.
It does.
But I do love it when I'm not here. You're like, finally!
No, that's not what happened. But Hayes did say, well, these teams that you're mentioning, wasn't it really like Wake Forest and Boston College who prevented them from winning? And I was like, well, that's very obvious of you to say.
You know, if only Tyreek Hill was with NC State.
Sean, 2017 is your answer, Sean.
Sure. 27. Yeah, I guess 2017 would have been would have been that answer. This is from a 919. Excuse me, Joes, but no NC State on the War Machine's Mount Rushmore. No love for the Cheese Queen, Abby Lampy. 2 wins and a second place finish in the last 4 years. War.machine.
Yeah, listen, we went through the quote unquote other sports during that time.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think all props to Abby, but no.
So tomorrow we're doing the Mount Rushmore of coaching searches, correct?
We are.
I have my 4.
You have 4?
I have 4. There's 2 NC State.
I'm like, I got 2.
There's 2 NC State and there's 2 Carolina.
Okay.
Duke does not show up on this list. Wake Forest does not show up. Why would they?
Probably would Duke.
Right. There's 2 NC State coaching searches and there's 2 North Carolina coaching searches in the last 25 years. That is your definitive Mount Rushmore. I think people can pick up what I'm putting down. The 2 NC State ones are obvious, right?
Correct.
But there's 2 Carolina coaching searches. Let's not act like Carolina hasn't had their own fun and frivolity when it comes to a coaching search. So we'll do that tomorrow along with catching up on a few things that we might have missed. Let's go back to the OG Sports phone. We got one from a 919.
Hey guys, Matt Ziegler. Calling regarding I guess it's the Wednesday show of Mount Rushmore of War Machines. And considering we haven't even gotten to the topic yet, but there was a statement that there would only be 3, which obviously violates the entire discussion regarding whether something being a Mount Rushmore or not. It requires 4 options. To be clear here, there has to be 4. That's how this works. Nevertheless, Dave, love having you on. Miss you from the sports channel, Dave. 0-1 Duke is the most obvious answer. 0-1 Duke, I would take over any team of the last 25 years in all of college basketball. 0-1 Duke is fucking awesome. Go back over that team. The national player, the national player.
Oh, okay. Matt, I didn't screen the call. Matt needs to get out of the wind tunnel.
No, Matt. Matt, with all due respect, it's my fucking show. If I want to put 3 teams on the Mount Rushmore.
Well, wait.
If I want to do an acapella of the news.
You only did 3 on a Mount Rushmore?
Yeah. And if I want to do acapella of the news where we don't acapella, guess what? Them's the breaks, man. Get your own fucking show. Get your own Mount Rushmore.
Wow. Attitude. 910.
Hey, just listening to Wednesday's episode today on Thursday. Gotta agree with Giglio all the way. As a North Carolina resident my whole life, married to a lovely lady from New Jersey. Her very first dry wedding ever was my sister's wedding down here in North Carolina. She has never been to a dry wedding ever. And then here in North Carolina was her very first experience. And I have also been to multiple weddings in North Carolina where no alcohol was served, no beer or wine, just non-alcoholic drinks. So it is definitely a thing in North Carolina. It is also definitely a thing in the Northeast to have an open bar and those envelopes of money. Thanks for the great show, guys, and keeping the summer protocol in check. Have a great day.
So we might need to bring our good friend Natalie on Wednesday. She also listened to last week's show about, because this all went back to Drake May, who gave away his wedding gifts. Okay.
Yeah, I saw he got married, right?
So we still need to get to the bottom of, did he tell the guests, hey, just so you know, I'm giving away your gifts because we're going to help people in need in Western North Carolina.
Okay.
Which it sounds like potentially is what happened.
Okay.
But the information in 2025 is not reported.
Yeah.
What we need to do is I need to text Scott Fowler and get Scott to like confirm what actually happened. Because all we actually know,
I think I still have Mark May's
is
number.
Scott Zolak was like, hey, just so you know, Drake May and his wife, they donated all their wedding gifts. And that got aggregated.
I see.
There was no context to it.
I see.
So I said, buddy, I get it. You might be trying to help people. But if you went and registered for like an emulsifier or a fucking mixer or something that I went and I got for you,
Yeah.
and then you just randomly gave it to some homeless people, like you were the owner of the Cleveland Browns, giving away draft picks, I would not be happy with you, sir.
Yeah.
We would not be on good terms, sir.
Typically, what you would do in that situation is you just say, "Hey, we're making a donation. Here's a link
Yeah,
to
if
make
you
a
were
donation."
upfront, if you were, so all
Like
those things.
my cousin did this. It was like, we don't need gifts. We need money for a house.
Okay.
So
A different
thing, right?
So that got us to weddings and Hayes. Then again, we're the interlopers,
Mr.
we're the
Raleigh.
haters,
Yeah.
was trying to tell me that he has been to all these weddings and never in the state of North Carolina he had been to a wedding that was a dry wedding.
I have. Well,
And I said, now, sir,
dry in the sense that they're officially dry.
no, I told him on multiple. I've been to multiple different options of weddings in North Carolina. The most popular one that I've been to in North Carolina is actually just beer and wine.
Yeah.
I said I've been to some where there is none at all.
That's a Catholic wedding to me, beer and wine.
No, that's a whole nother thing. That's an open bar.
That happens in the church convention center.
Sure.
I mean, that's what happened at St. Michael's for us.
I said there's a full bar.
Yeah.
There is just beer and wine,
Yeah.
and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
And I said I've experienced all of them in the state of North Carolina. In New Jersey, I'd never been to a wedding up north. I did not have an open bar. So
yeah.
That was what you missed. I'm just catching you.
Was he saying that there were no dry weddings in North Carolina?
He was trying to say that he had never been to a wedding in the state of North Carolina where they didn't have a full open bar.
Oh,
and I was like, sir.
Okay. I
call shenanigans.
Shout out to my old colleague, original ACC Footprint podcast co-host, Derek Medlin. He and Brienne got married, 15 years ago, maybe. I've lost track.
And Derek's kids are like in college.
I know, right? So Derek,
all grown up.
They had a technically a dry wedding out in Sanford, but they were smart about it. They're like, look, it's officially a dry wedding, but we just happen to have full Coke bottles. If you wanted to take a sip off that Coke bottle and slip a little something in there, that's up to you.
Okay.
So, do you remember Aaron Schoonmaker?
Yeah.
So Aaron, Scooney had a trunk of booze that he popped the trunk. We go, put a shot into the Coke bottle and go back. That's how I interpret most dry weddings. It's officially a dry wedding, but somebody's got booze somewhere. That's all. And finally, I got a Hey Joe for you. When are you moving to Las Vegas? Because
I'm the worst at Uno, right?
Uno is now officially coming to Las Vegas, although there is some clarifying that's taking place.
Okay.
Initially, when the story came out, it looked like Uno was going to be a table game that you could actually bet on and make money off of or lose money. But USA Today has a follow-up. Uno is coming to a Las Vegas casino, but if you're looking to gamble on the card game, you may want to play a reverse. Very good lead.
Nice.
Long favorite game among friend groups and family members, Uno will be available this weekend at the Palms for an elevated social experience. But entry to the event at the Palms Casino is limited. and money will not be at stake, Mattel confirmed to USA Today, clarifying speculation on social media that casino goers would be able to gamble on the game. So Uno is a short-lived promotion. It is not something that's permanently added to Vegas card games. I know you're disappointed.
I would not play Uno for money in a casino. I'm
Really?
bad at Uno.
I thought you were.
I'm the worst.
I thought they make. Oh, in the Minneapolis airport, I saw they had mini Uno, like little itty bitty cards.
You know, I love a variation to an Uno card.
I almost picked it up. I should have done. I'm sure I can find it somewhere online. And yeah, speaking of Hayes, I love that we've established things on this program. Hayes had sent this out to me, filling in. He had this ACC football vintage shirt, which
it looked like it was straight from Ryan McGee's closet.
Dude, well, the best part is that I looked a little closer. That is a 1989 Jefferson Pilot mark.
So no Florida State. I like it.
That's good stuff. So we've developed this reputation of old shit. The problem is we're running out of places to put this old shit.
We are.
Like Brendan, he messaged me a Facebook marketplace for more vintage ACC hats and whatnot. And our friend Aaron over at Sound Off, Anna, his wife, does our graphics for the podcast on YouTube. He sent me a Facebook marketplace listing for 200 vintage ACC tournament cups from a variety of ACC tournaments, but it's 200 of them.
Jeez.
And I thought to myself, I think it's at Winston-Salem. I'm like, ooh. But then I thought, where the hell are we going to put them?
No.
Do I take some of the foam off a wall and we do a cup wall?
We could, but we would need another camera. No one's got time for that.
Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. Big thanks to the MLB Raleigh guys for having us out at the local last night. Big thanks to Brian Fork, CEO of the Carolina Hurricanes, and Doug Warf, who puts up with our shenanigans. We will see you all tomorrow for a Mount Rushmore of triangle coaching searches of the last 25 years. And Giglio has been sending me all of the social media clips that I need to get. I got to get through. It's going to be one hell of a lightning round. We'll see you tomorrow.